Guys, we're chatting to Mark Rubin. He's the executive producer at Infinity Ward, and you guys have been working really hard on Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yep, we've been at it for the last few years now. Really looking forward to it. We're in a console transition year. It's the hardest time for a dev actually to make games. You're working on games that basically on platforms that don't exist. That they're sort of theoretical. They're on paper they exist, but the actual hardware doesn't exist. So you're trying to make a game for multiple platforms. Some of them don't exist. It's a massive challenge, but a lot of fun.
Well, we're looking forward to the game because we're all massive Call of Duty heads. Now, I want to know. I've been asking all the developers this, and the guys involved in the projects. What is your favorite feature in the game?
Well, for me specifically, for Call of Duty Ghosts, multiplayers. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to, or enjoy the most, is the marksman rifle. So it's a whole new class of weapon. We've always had assault and SMG and LMG and sniper, etc. And now we've added a new class called marksman rifles. And they basically are like single-shot ARs or semi-automatic sniper rifles. So you can have a scope on them, or you can roll with just iron sights. It reminds me of like Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 1.
About to say World War II.
Yeah, like World War II rifles, and like the M1 in the car. It reminds me of using those weapons, and they're difficult to use, but they're really satisfying when you get a kill.
Cool. So the presentation yesterday that you gave us, you spoke about three main what you would call pillars of the new design. The first one being your character.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the fact that there are women now in the game. It's just I feel that it's a more natural fit. A lot of girls actually playing Call of Duty. Why did you guys decide to do that? Well, maybe why did you guys not decide to put that in previously?
Sure. So the answer is really quite straightforward and simple. All of the past games, the characters basically that were available to you from a faction standpoint. So you pick one. There's two teams on each map, and you spawn in randomly as one of those characters. Those factions were always just pulled from factions from the single player. So it was like whatever the single player different armies were in single player, you just pull those in and they became the factions, and you just randomly were picked one of those characters. So there was no, or you didn't even pick, they were randomly picked for you. So there was no connection for you as a player to who you were visibly in the game. And so with this game, one of the big features that we've been working on is character customization, the ability to pick your race and what you look like, and the headgear and everything, and of course the gender. And there wasn't the reason we did that was because it just made complete sense. We have a big, huge, diverse group, and I think somewhere, someone I saw a number of like 24% was how of the fan base is actually females.
Wow, that's a great statistic.
So we have a ton of female fans out there, and it was, of course, we had to have females in the game.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend was really big into Call of Duty as well, so that would be something that she'd dig. Now, the other thing you were talking about is setting. The multiplayer levels have this way of just like collapsing and changing. I want to know how much of that is going to be the same, repetition of the same thing.
So actually, not much of it at all. What we tried to actually in the beginning, what we tried to do was we created an event, like a big map-changing event that literally changed the map. So
Gears of War 2 style.
Yeah, like Strike Zone. If you've taken a look at the map, the maps that we've been showing here at Gamescom and at the MP event, Strike Zone, which is like a baseball stadium, gets
like the name, by the way.
Strike Zone.
Yeah.
Gets hit by a kinetic rod and destroys the map entirely. The whole map gets destroyed. So that sort of non-destroyed map that you're playing on before becomes a rubble, broken down version of that map. So that was a massive sort of map-changing event. And we started going down, early in development, we started going down the line of doing that kind of thing for every map, but it became a little bit repetitive and a little bit monotonous. So we actually switched gears and cut some maps that did that. Changed it up to do, every map was unique, and every map has a different thing that can happen. Sometimes it's just simple player-driven stuff that's not even like destructive or anything. It's just like being able to control sliding doors or garage door type things.
You're running away and someone slams a sliding glass door closed and you just run straight into
it. Exactly.
Lose health and a broken nose.
Exactly. Or like move things out of the way, or shoot the lock off of a gate and now open a new path. So it was really a lot about that was a lot about player-driven stuff. And then there's other things where it's simpler, sort of semi-destructive environments with blowing holes in walls or blowing up gas stations and having them fall over, or just sort of general destruction kind of stuff. And then other maps are the big map changing, like I described on Strike Zone, which is actually player activated. So a player actually can get a care package via a field order, specifically, that will cause that thing to happen, that event to happen. And then there's other maps that are pure environmental. So we have a building that's fallen over and it's sliding down between two other buildings.
Transformer style.
Exactly. That's exactly
inspiration. We got to do this.
No, I'm serious.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's exactly right. I mean, we literally cut that piece from the movie and we're like, this is what we want to try to do. Have you actually?
I was watching that and thinking a similar thing, saying we need to play a video game like this. I can't watch somebody do this. I need to feel it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you're going to be playing in that building as it's falling, and pieces are falling over and walls are falling down, and so the path and everything is going to change as you play through the
every multiplayer game.
Exactly.